Pepsi's Live for Now Kendall Jenner ad, 2017.
In April 2017, Pepsi released a commercial featuring model Kendall Jenner. The concept? Kendall leaves a photo shoot, sees a protest happening, joins the protesters, and diffuses tensions between police and protesters by handing a Pepsi to a police officer. Message: Pepsi connects people. Pepsi brings peace. Pepsi is for the moment. Live for now. The campaign was produced by a major agency with a substantial budget. It was approved by corporate executives. It aired on television and online.
The commercial was meant to be aspirational and inclusive. Young people, social activism, the idea that a beverage brand understood important social moments. Visually, it showed Kendall Jenner in various scenarios with increasingly diverse crowds, building to the moment where her Pepsi creates peace between protesters and police. The implicit message: social justice and police protester tensions can be solved by a soft drink. Pepsi is the bridge between divided communities.
The backlash. The response was immediate and ferocious. The commercial faced criticism from multiple angles, trivializing Black Lives Matter and serious protest movements, showing a wealthy white celebrity solving complex social issues, implying that corporations could buy into social justice, offensive to communities actually experiencing police violence, woke-washing, using social causes for brand marketing. Social media erupted. The hashtag #PepsiFail trended worldwide. Activists posted responses. Comedians mocked it. Media coverage was uniformly negative. The commercial was pulled within 48 hours. Pepsi issued an apology. "We came up short in representing the passion, outrage, and bravery on the part of people who are fighting the fight." The campaign became a symbol of corporate tone deafness. It's referenced whenever a company tries to co-opt social movements for marketing. Pepsi's sales impact was limited. The actual financial damage from a single failed ad campaign is often overstated, but the brand damage was real. Pepsi became associated with corporate exploitation of social issues. The bigger lesson? The campaign revealed a profound corporate disconnect. Executives in boardrooms signed off on a campaign that trivialized what millions of people considered life and death issues. Years later, the ad is still used as the textbook example of tone-deaf brand activism. The pattern begins. Corporations attempting to co-opt social movements reveal what they actually care about: money, not the movement.
United Airlines passenger removal, 2017.
The situation wasn't a traditional marketing campaign. It was a corporate policy executed in a moment that destroyed the brand. On April 9, 2017, United Airlines overbooked a flight from Chicago to Louisville. They needed to get crew members to a connection. They asked for volunteers to give up their seats. Nobody volunteered at the offered compensation. United executives made a decision. They would involuntarily remove passengers. Security personnel boarded the plane and removed Dr. David Dow, a 69-year-old passenger, dragging him off the plane while he screamed. A passenger recorded the entire incident on video. The policy itself wasn't unusual in the airline industry. Overbooking and involuntary removal were standard practice. But the execution, captured on video and broadcast globally, showed the policy in its most brutal form: a paying customer violently removed from a plane for corporate convenience. The video showed the physician's distress and resistance, security personnel using physical force, blood on his face from hitting the armrest, the casual cruelty of the process. United CEO initially defended the decision, saying the passenger had been disruptive and needed to be removed. Then, the company realized the massive error. The backlash was immediate and global. Trending hashtags: United Airlines, United beats doctors, boycott United. The video was viewed hundreds of millions of times. It became the symbol of corporate indifference to human dignity. Comedians, politicians, celebrities, everyone mocked United. News coverage was uniformly negative. Financial analysts questioned the company's competence. Frequent flyer program members announced they were switching airlines. United's stock dropped. The PR damage was catastrophic. United had to apologize multiple times. CEO initially defended, then apologized after realizing the disaster. Fire the employees involved, or effectively disowned them. Change the overbooking policy. Offer passenger settlements. Rebuild reputation. Very difficult. The incident became the symbol of corporate disrespect for customers. It was referenced in every subsequent airline controversy.
Burger King's subservient chicken. Misogyny. 2000s.
The campaign. Burger King's subservient chicken was an early internet advertising phenomenon. The concept: customers could type commands online and watch an AI chicken perform them on a website. Jump, chicken jumps. Dance, chicken dances. The tagline: have it your way, presenting the chicken as obedient to your commands. The campaign was considered innovative and became viral before viral was a common term. It won advertising awards. Marketing magazines praised the creativity. But the campaign reflected a troubling pattern in Burger King's broader advertising: women in submissive or sexualized positions. The "Have It Your Way" slogan extended to commercials featuring women in various states of submission or sexualization. The implied message: Burger King serves your desires, whatever they are. The campaigns were edgy and designed to get attention, and they did, but not the attention Burger King wanted. Feminist groups criticized the advertising. Women's organizations protested. Younger women reported being turned off by the brand. The edginess wasn't funny. It was alienating.
The backlash developed more slowly than newer social media disasters, but it was consistent. Burger King became associated with misogynistic advertising that treated women as objects. The company's response was slow and inadequate. They didn't understand the problem, treating criticism as being too politically correct. Burger King's brand suffered among younger women and progressive consumers. The company was seen as outdated and disrespectful. The campaign became a case study in advertising ethics. It's used in business schools as an example of how edgy humor can damage rather than build a brand. Years later, Burger King had to work to rebuild its image. The company shifted toward different advertising approaches and corporate value statements. The lesson? Attempting to be provocative without understanding your actual audience alienates instead of attracts. The pattern? Edgy marketing as brand strategy, when it reveals contempt for a portion of audience, destroys brand trust.
Facebook Year in Review. Traumatizing Algorithm. 2014. The campaign. In 2014, Facebook created Year in Review, an algorithmic feature that automatically compiled a user's best moments from the year into a video. The algorithm selected photos with the most engagement, likes, comments, and set them to music. It was heartwarming for most users, nostalgic, celebratory. Facebook promoted the feature as a positive way to reflect on the year. Marketing positioned it as spreading happiness and connection. The algorithm was purely mechanical. It simply grabbed photos with the most engagement. But mechanical algorithms don't understand context or trauma. A user who lost a child that year would get an automatic compilation of the most liked photos. If one photo of the child had engagement, it would be featured in the year in review. A user going through a divorce would see happy memories from earlier in the year. A user who experienced loss would see an algorithmic celebration of their trauma.
The backlash. People started sharing their traumatic year-in-review videos. Facebook reminded me today of the day I lost my daughter. Thanks for that. Year in Review showed me photos from before my father died. Great reminder. Congratulations on the worst year of my life, Facebook. The backlash revealed how algorithmic automation, without human consideration, can cause harm at massive scale. Thousands of people experiencing grief, loss, and trauma had the algorithm slap them in the face with happy memories compilation videos. Facebook quickly disabled the automatic broadcast. Users could still see their own video, but they weren't auto-shared. The company issued an apology. We recognized that the Year in Review feature wasn't the right experience for everyone, especially people going through difficult times. But the damage to Facebook's brand was real. The feature revealed something troubling. Facebook builds features for engagement metrics without considering human impact. The algorithm optimized for most liked, not most appropriate. The incident contributed to broader Facebook reputation damage around algorithmic automation and lack of human consideration in product design. It became a case study in how scale amplifies mistakes. A single mistake in code affects millions of people simultaneously.
Wells Fargo fake account scandal, 2016.
The situation. This is less a marketing campaign and more a corporate culture failure that destroyed brand reputation. Wells Fargo had aggressive sales culture. Employees faced quotas to open new accounts and cross-sell products. The incentives were tied to compensation. The pressure was intense. Employees who didn't meet numbers faced termination. Employees, under pressure to meet sales targets, began opening fake accounts in customers' names without their knowledge or consent. The accounts generated fees for the bank and counted toward employee quotas. It was fraud. It was systematic. It happened for years. When customers noticed unauthorized accounts and reported them, they were often blamed. "You must have opened this," bank representatives would say. Thousands of fake accounts were opened. Hundreds of thousands of real customers were defrauded.
The revelation. In 2016, regulatory agencies discovered the fake account scheme. Media coverage was scathing. Congressional hearings happened. The CEO was forced to resign. The scandal revealed Wells Fargo's actual values. Profit and sales targets mattered more than customer trust or legal compliance. Wells Fargo faced $3 billion in fines, loss of customer trust, reputation damage worse than financial penalty. Executives forced resignations, regulatory scrutiny that lasted years, brand association with fraud. The brand that had positioned itself as trustworthy was exposed as systematically defrauding customers. Years later, Wells Fargo is still rebuilding reputation. The scandal became the symbol of bank culture prioritizing profits over customers. The fake account scandal wasn't a marketing failure in traditional terms, but it revealed what marketing couldn't hide: corporate values that prioritized profits over customers. No marketing campaign could overcome the reality that the company had systematically defrauded people. The pattern, corporate policy and culture ultimately determine reputation more than marketing messages. Marketing can't hide systemic problems.